In the strange world of Skibidi Toilet, there's nothing but chaos and destruction caused by the supernatural Skibidi Toilets, and among all of the special agents, there is one who stands out the most in my opinion. He goes by the name Plungerman, starting from a normal cameraman fighting with a plunger, then making his way to the ranks of a special agent. How did he do it? And also, who is he? Why is he so special? And why is he so loved and adored by the fandom? Well, I will be answering all these questions and more, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of Plunger Cameraman. One day, a bunch of scientists are working on an experiment. A sweet woman by the name of Kathy sets up a camera. She walks towards her fellow scientist, who goes by the name Dave, and asks him to look back for a picture. Dave, being the Chad he is, rejects by saying, "Nah, I'm good," which forced poor Kathy to get back to work. She opens some kind of gate and this recording ends. And Dave is without a doubt Plungerman and Kathy is camerawoman. At least that's what I believe. Later we see as Plungerman is out with other cameramen as they are cleaning the city after a battle when suddenly a crazy toilet appears and bro literally walks towards the toilet to fight it. We don't know what happened next, but we see him on the cameraman base with a missing leg, and it seems like they're upgrading Titan Cameraman. Or this probably was before Titan Cameraman's introduction. Later we see him out with Camerawoman, and they seem to be hiding because this was during the parasitic arc when Titan Speakerman was infected. One night a bunch of cameramen are getting jumped by a few toilets which lead to their death, but the POV cameraman decided that this isn't going to be his fate. So he started flushing every toilet in sight with his ninja skills, and from that we already know he was special because bro was using a plunger as his main weapon. After he was saved by a TV man that same night, he picked up a plunger to fight against some huge toilets. And this bro doesn't seem to care how big these toilets are because he's still going to fight no matter how big they are. He is without a doubt the bravest character in the entire series. We will see more of his bravery soon. This also lead him to become close friends with the Scientist Cameraman and Titan Cameraman and of course Dark Speaker Man. We see as the TV men came to assist, but due to the toilets not being affected by their TV light, the pricks ditched them, leaving Plungerman and the Scientist along with some weak agents to take care of the toilets themselves. Plungerman was even being watched by the secret agent. The reason for this isn't known, but later in the series he will be the cause of his death. Plungerman's debut really starts in episode 48. We were in the POV of Scientist Cameraman. We see as they both easily dealt with some toilets while being watched by the secret agent. That's until a toilet came and cut the scientist in half, but he will get a new pair of legs and rise to the ranks of a special agents as well. Later that same night, the toilets have somehow found the location of the cameraman base and they were like,
"Yep, we're gonna raid those motherfuckers."
As everyone seemed to be running for their lives, Plungerman had other plans, as he thought it would be better to walk up like a badass to fight against the toilets and protect his base. This guy is really something else. Bro doesn't even have any kind of abilities and he almost walked into his faith. That's how brave he is. That's until Titan Cameraman made his legendary return and showed those toilets who the daddy is. As Titan Cameraman began killing every toilet that crosses his path, we saw that Plungerman was with him, and I believe Titan Cameraman saw how brave Plungerman was, and he took him in his hands to fight alongside him, and that's when their friendship started. And that's when his flash camera started to turn blue. Later on he will become more skilled than before and he saved a cameraman and he also got himself a little girlfriend. Why are you still single? Anyway, we see his bro defeated dozens of toilets and he looked rather tired. Bro needs to take a break. While Titan Cameraman was taking care of G-Man, bro tried to kill the parasite and save Titan Speaker Man, which almost lead to his death. But later he will be rewarded for his bravery. Now after 5 whole episodes a lot has happened. Titan Speaker Man was disinfected. Speaker Mommy was introduced and the scientist brought out his toy. We see as Dark Speaker Man made his appearance and the Rainbow Mutant was about to kick some ass. That's until he start getting hit by a very fast object. Bro was so confused, but that's when we saw him. Plungerman returned with the glitch toilet, now making him one of the strongest characters in the entire series, or at least one of the strongest agents. Later that night, all the special agents has united, and bro Plungerman tried to impress the females by making a badass entrance. Only TV woman wasn't interested in his riz. The squad decided to leave because a bunch of toilets were coming. But Plungerman being the hero, he has decided to join the battle against the Scientist Titan. But he again failed and got seriously injured. The same thing happened 10 episodes earlier. Later he made it into the Skibidi bunker to fight against the real scientist, and he was taking this mission really seriously because the large speakerman literally gave his life for him. As they smoothly made it through a little part of the bunker killing some toilets, everything seemed to be going pretty smooth. That is until they got caught by a few engineered toilets. They made their way towards the elevator, and of course they end up losing the life of another brave character. And he gave his camera lens to Plungerman. This will be important in a future battle. As everyone gave a moment of silence, the door opens and Plungerman was ready to avenge his comrades. Plungerman, being Plungerman, easily dealt with some toilets alongside DafuqBoom. As they start walking around the base, they got caught by some kind of zombie mutant. Well, obviously our brave duo easily dealt with him, and the toilet escaped and started chasing them. As they escaped the toilets, DafuqBoom started celebrating too early and got killed by Skibbity Jackson. They began running until DafuqBoom had to make the ultimate sacrifice, which pissed off Plungerman, and their friendship was ruined. Later they take on a toilet inside the elevator, and they successfully killed it with one cameraman sacrificing himself. Plungerman picked up his gun and made a badass Spider-Man move to climb up the wall, and the squad sneaked to the room, but they got caught. As they start running, they made it to a room. A very mysterious room too. We learned a lot of confidential things in this room, but all the silence was over as a quiet toilet almost kills Lucky Cameraman and used his red TV beam to make Plungerman end himself. A cameraman unfortunately didn't make it. As DafuqBoom tries to save his friend, Plungerman used the camera lens he got from the large cameraman, and he saved DafuqBoom, and they both defeated the toilet. And now it was time for the big fight. As they both made it to the scientist, he tried escaping, but Plungerman wasn't letting him leave. So the scientist attacks Plungerman, but he ducks it. Then DafuqBoom made his attack, but he got split in half. Plungerman, seeing this, attacks the scientist again, and DafuqBoom showed us that he wasn't finished, but it seemed hopeless for them. That is until the large TV man came in, and they started to get the upper hand. The scientist, knowing he can't win, decided to bring out his second puppet. This forces the large TV man and the reinforcements to retreat, but the female trio and the big laser cameraman arrived, and he started distracting him while the female trio fight the scientist from the inside. As the scientist came out and yonks all the women, he tried G-Man toilets move by escaping, but the Titans was patiently waiting for him. As the battle was over, Plungerman made his way to his friend, and they did one last handshake, and his friend died right in front of him. After a moment of silence, Plungerman starts seeing the two cameramen who DafuqBoom sacrificed, and he ends up in some kind of dream. He saw the secret agent who thanks him for cooking the scientist. He also tells him that a bigger threat is coming. He also told him that there's no evidence left except one. Then after that, he told him that he hasn't survived the battle. After Plungerman snaps out of it, he starts burning up. Camera woman was coming to his aid, but TV woman stops her. As Plungerman accepts his fate, he looks at his buddy one last time and gives him one last thumbs up right before his camera goes offline.